friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a layout in my Quarantine Chronicles Heidi Swapp journaler insert that I've been using to document life right now. And I'm actually going to be using the Ali Edwards digital story kit for April. And I've been having a lot of fun in this particular insert playing with grids. Grids aren't I don't usually go for grids. I struggle with grids. I like the idea of grids, but my brain just doesn't work that way. So I've always struggled with doing grid style scrapbooking, but because this is a larger traveler's notebook, which is where, oh, I should probably put this in frame. Sorry. Because this is what feels like a larger traveler's notebook, and I normally work in grids in my traveler's notebook, I figured I would give it a try. So I kind of before I turned on the camera, I did a lot of sketching, trying to figure out what size pieces I needed, what size photos, printed all my stuff, and we are going to assemble a grid style page for my story today. Now, if I didn't ruin this, everything will fit. We will see. Hopefully when I took the measurements, yeah, oh God, this is already not gonna work. Okay. So we're gonna figure this out together. I think what I might have to do is cut these 5x3 cards and make them 5x2. All right, so this is gonna evolve. We're gonna evolve as we go and figure out how to do this. So I'm going to have to make these 5x2. So I printed a bunch of things going off of the size of the pages. I knew the pages were 7x9, so I should have realized that I couldn't do 3 rows of 3-inch cards because that wouldn't work. So that was just me being silly. But I'm just going to trim all this stuff down, and we're going to keep building our grid. So I will tell you something, you guys, that you guys might find interesting. I recently switched the paper that I've been printing my hybrid elements on, and I love this one so much more than the one I was using before. So I used to print my stuff on matte. So here we go. Here's the foundation for my grid. I really like the way this looks. There's places here to embellish. I'm going to leave myself a little bit place here to embellish, and I'm going to put my title right up here. I mean, April looks like this is kind of my title. Okay, so I'm just gonna embellish and embellish and embellish, and that's it. What was I saying? Yes, so I recently switched the paper that I use for my hybrid scrapbooking. Lord, I lose my train of thought so fast. I was using the some matte photo paper. There we go. That's what I was saying. So I used to use some matte photo paper, which was giving me it was good prints. Don't get me wrong; they weren't bad quality prints. But then someone said that I watched Kathy Zilski, that's what it was. So I was watching a video from Kathy Zilski, and she uses this paper, and this is the Nina Solar White Nina Classic Crest. It is the longest paper ever. It is the Nina Classic Crest paper in Solar White in the 80 pound. That is how long that took me to get it out. But yes, so that is the paper she uses. That's paper she's always used. I finally watched one of her scrapbooking videos, and that was the paper she recommended. So I found it on Amazon. On Amazon, you could only get it in a 250 pack. So that's a big commitment for a paper that I wasn't sure I was gonna love. But I love it. So that is what I've switched to. I find it's super smooth. So I've done things like ink blending on it. It's super smooth. It blends like a treat. It's 80 pounds, but it fits in my printer. So yeah, so I'm sold. So that's the paper I'm going to be using from now on. So what I did was I printed the whole chipboard sheet. And then I thought my silhouette was going to behave itself. And I tried to do print and cut. And my silhouette and we always have a difference of opinion. So print job, not so great. Print job, okay, but not so great. So I then just, after I cut it out, I just took my scissors and cleaned up the edges. But I have pretty much the whole chipboard sheet. These cards are printed 2x3. My photos are printed 2x3. These are now 5x2, and this is 5x7. So I'm going to quickly start sticking some stuff down. I'll probably skip through all of that, and after everything is, after my grid is stuck down because I'm comfortable where this is, I'm gonna come back and we'll embellish this together. Okay guys, so I've just about stuck my entire grid down. I just used my ATG and powered through sticking all of these elements down, and the April story kit feels super timely. Like this stamp finding beauty in the middle of it all, like that's my entire life right now, is finding the good. And I don't always succeed. I'm trying. We don't always succeed, right? So yeah, this April story kit is perfect. Also, I love the soft colors. And I like that this story kit isn't super themed. Like, it's not like crazy spring themed. Like this was a 3x4 card. So these were both 3x4 cards. And this was, I can't even stick things straight down in a book with a grid. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. This was 3x4, these were 3x4, and this was 4x6. And this was actually a plain card, and I put a stamp that says, I'm taking my watch off, you guys. People keep bothering me. This was a stamp that I just put on the card and printed it out. So if you guys are unfamiliar with how to do stuff like this, I highly recommend you take Allie's hybrid class, and then there's a hybrid products play class coming out really soon that I'm actually one of the contributors for, so that's gonna be fun. But this is really simple. You just take the stamp and put it on the journaling card, and then, like I said, I like to resize things, and if you guys have watched me scrapbook before, you know this. I really enjoy resizing the elements that I'm using, so I don't have to stick to the sizes that things come in, and that's just a matter of scaling your bits and pieces down, right? Like, that's not terribly difficult. But then I printed it too big anyway, so I had to cut it down. All right, so my plan for the rest of this is to just take where there's empty space and fill it in with embellishments. So I did cut, this was also a digital stamp. The stamp was This Little Story Has My Heart, I think. Something along those lines. And I just cut out the story part. So I have this that's gonna be a secondary title. This was part of a digital stamp that says, I'm pretty sure it says This Little Story Has My Heart, but don't quote me, but it was a digital stamp, and I just took it into my Silhouette studio, cut off everything except the story, because the story is what I wanted, and I'm going to stamp this little right up top, and then put story over it. And I'm being really brave. I probably should have stamped it before I stuck everything down, just in case I ruined the stamping, but we're gonna go for it. So this was in the Type Story Kit. It is, as you can see, very well loved. It is my favorite alpha for tiny typewritten looked letters. Literally favorite alpha. So I'm going to quickly stamp this little. I'm using the scrapbook.com hybrid ink, but any black ink will work. This is just my favorite black ink right now, so it's always on my desk. Okay, good. So we're on our way. And I have the pad from my Misty underneath my page. I find that stamping on a stamp pad helps me get a better impression. All right, so I finished my stamping, which I will show you in a minute, but I was looking at this white on white, which, like, the white of the cut file against the white of my paper, and then the white of the journaling card, and I'm worried that I'm gonna lose the rest of my title in all this white, so I'm going to kind of ombre this story. I'm just gonna take a little bit of worn lipstick, which is my favorite pink, and just slowly drag it up onto this die cut title so that it's not completely, like, I don't want it to be like super bright, because I think that wouldn't work with like the rest of what I have going on, but I think it's going to help it stand out a tiny bit more. So I'm just slowly bringing it up. I'm leaving the tips, I'm going to leave the tops of it white, and I'm not using like any pressure right now. We are just being super soft and gentle, but I think that's going to help it stand out so much more on my page so I don't lose it. So let's put that down and let's see. Yeah, so you guys see what I mean? Like, I think if I hadn't done that, you totally would have lost it. But now, how pretty is that? Okay, so I have my stamped title, and now I'm just gonna finish embellishing. So I do want to fill in here. And I think I want to do a little bit more stamping. So I probably should have pulled out my stamps before. I'm like all over the place right now. I'm gonna go dig in my stamps to see if I have anything that has similar sentiments, and I'll be right back. All right, so I actually dug back into my stash, and I have the April Stories by the Month from, this wasn't from last year, this is the one that's 2 years ago, and then I actually have the one from this year, and they both have sentiments about April, so that's gonna be perfect for this page I'm working on. So there's this one that says things I love about April, in Allie's handwriting, which I love. I love this stamp. And I just switched my stamp pad from the left side on to the right side. And I'm actually gonna move my stamp pad off my project because I've dropped it before and that was not fun. And I'm just gonna stamp it right here. That was perfect. Okay, so I have that one. There are these hearts that's kind of filled in. And I want to put one on opposite sides of my title. I think I want to put it by my title. The question is, do I want to stamp it in black or do I want to, I think I might just use this Worn Lipstick color since I already have it. So I'm worried that putting it down in black would just be too much black. So we're going to do it in this color. And you can stamp with your oxides. They take a little bit more love than like a traditional stamp pad, but you can still stamp with the oxides and get good stamp impressions. They are not like a felt pad like most ink pads are, so you just have to press down a lot more. And I'm actually gonna move my stamp block because stamping in the crease is just a little bit harder for me. So I'm gonna stamp 2 of these hearts right here. There we go. I do like having that pink there. I think that pink works a lot. I was gonna put the black down, but I just worried that the black might be a bit too stark. So the pink works, I think the pink works better. And there's just so many like beautiful soft colors in this. I don't want to lose that. Okay, so there we go. So there is pretty much the left side done. That ombre is super pretty. And then I will go back and add like puffy stickers and stuff after I'm finished with my stamping. I get my chamois. Guys, we don't talk about my chamois, okay? It is horrifying. It's gross. It does its job. All right, so let's go back and see if there's any other stamps we can fit here. I don't think we can fit any more stamps. I'm gonna leave that alone. And we're gonna work in this space here. So I had originally a cluster, which I'm gonna put back, but I'm not gonna put it exactly where I had it. I'm gonna move things around and just try to fill up. All right, so I do want to stamp moments and memories. So I'm going to do my stamping first and then fill in the last of my embellishments around my stamping because I think that makes more sense to have all the stamping done, then put stuff down and then try to figure out how to make my stamping work around it. So this is from that same April Stories by the Month. I do think this is the one from 2018 because last year I actually stopped my Stories by the Month subscription because I wasn't doing nearly as much documenting to justify all the kit subscriptions I had. So I'm pretty sure this was from 2018. All right. So same thing, just hitting this with my black ink. And I want to put this one right here. Okay, that works. I'm going to quickly clean this off with my chamois. And I do think I'm going to do some more stamping. So I went ahead and finished up my stamping and I just decided to do 4 stamps. So these 2 are going sideways and they're going different directions. I thought it'd be fun to just mix that up a little bit. And then, oh, here's the stamp. It says, this little story has my heart. So this is it's on the piece of chipboard. I had the digital stamp and chopped it up and did that. So that's what it said. It did say this little story has my heart. I thought it did, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't messing it up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this heart and then this piece that says adore this season. I have this piece that says new routines. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put that. I think I want to put that actually here. So now we're gonna like fill in. We're gonna fill in this space. That's what we're doing. And here is where I tend to run into trouble with grids because you got to figure out that sweet spot between over embellishing and just putting down enough on the page, and that's never been my strong place. I'm an embellisher. I like having things, all the time. So this is typically where I'm always like, do I have enough? Should I stop? Where should I stop? So we're gonna just work through this. So I put that new routines piece down. I like this hexagon actually layered over this heart. And I think I'm gonna put this one down here. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I actually like that a lot. So I'm gonna layer the hexagon over the heart. This piece fits right here kind of perfectly because it's a nice little banner. And there is more chipboard if I decide to use more, but I think I'm happy with what this looks like. I do hope you guys are getting the colors on camera because since it's all like pretty pastels, I think it's gonna get washed out. So hopefully you guys still see them. But I'm just taking the chipboard pieces with some glue in my fine line bottle and sticking things down, making quick decisions and sticking them down. And from here, okay, so I'm happy with what that looks like. With this book in particular and with like every traveler's notebook I work in, I'm always wary of bulk. Like I worry that things are just gonna get too big, too fast, and I can't close the book. So now looking at this has a lot more pink on this side and like no pink on this side. So it's a perfect opportunity for me to find something relatively flat that will fit right here, that will carry this pink color over here. Because there is the yellow and the blue on this side, but there's no pink. And I'm trying to balance it out. And I think once I figure out that balancing element, this is gonna be done. So I'm gonna dig for something, again, that's not too bulky because we don't wanna make this any thicker than it already is, but that will carry this color over here. So as I was sitting here thinking about it, I figured the easiest thing to do would be to just use the same color. So I'm going to stamp right here in the middle of my page, April Memories, and that totally carries over that pink color from this side to the left, and it is the same pink color, so I'm not worried about introducing any new colors. And there is a tiny bit of empty space right here. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with, because I have this piece, but this piece is too long. I'm going to use some washi now, because I want to kind of use some washi and add it like it's taping my photos down. I mean, it's totally not. My photos are glued in place, but I like that. I've been doing this on like a few other projects. Like I'll show you another page if you haven't seen that. Like here, like I use things that look like washi to like pretend it's taping the picture down when it's really not. Like things are firmly stuck in place, but I think it just adds an extra layer of texture. That is pretty fun. So I'm just gonna put it on. Ooh, that is not, wow, that was horrible. I'm just gonna put it on a few of my photos and my journaling cards. So I think I'm gonna do 2 over here and 1 over there. And then I'm gonna layer the, again, to repeat that color, I have this pink kind of gingham color. And I'm working on carrying that pink over to the right side. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this skinny washi, that is that pink color, and layer it over that other washi, and then that again carries that color over. So now everything we're doing looks intentional. I'm all about my mistakes and my ideas looking intentional, even if they aren't. Even if I'm totally making it up as I go, I'm all about them looking intentional. And then on this side, I have some yellow lemon washi tape. I think these are from like American Crafts. And I'm gonna layer that over this piece down there. So I have my 3 bits of washi. All my washi is layered. And I'm carrying some yellow over to this side. So that just about completes this page in my Quarantine Chronicles book. I really like how this grid came out. I'm actually really inspired to play with grids more often because this felt really like awkward, if you couldn't tell, but I think at the end, like it looks like a complete page. I really like how it looks. I'll just tell you quickly what my journaling did. So for this one that said lovely little things right now, I just made a list of the things that I'm doing right now, like waking up without an alarm and not jumping right out of bed, like having tea or coffee at home, like talking to family far away, like watching Frozen 2. Over here that said finding beauty in the middle of it all, I just did some journaling about, okay. anyway, over here where it says finding beauty in the middle of it all, I just did some journaling about how I was looking for the beauty in pressing pause and resetting, and how that was an opportunity to try again and do something new. And then over here right now, this is a list more of, like, this is a mix of facts and feelings. So like I wrote about how I took my NCLEX, which is what this picture is from. Was I took this picture at the testing center, but then I did some journaling about feelings, and then more facts, and then more feelings. So this is a mix of facts and feelings about what life looks like right now. And that pretty much completes the spread of my quarantine chronicles. It is a lot of color. It is super fun. I think I needed to play with color right now with everything else going on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to, one, document what life looks like right now for you, and two, maybe play with a potential design that you don't normally reach for, because I think it's always good to like stretch your creative muscles and try something new. So that's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see you next time. So until next time, keep it crafty and have the best day, and I will see you around. Bye!